A lot of my coaching clients are very curious about how employing a period of no contact actually impacts their ex. They want to know what their ex is thinking during no contact and how giving them plenty of space is changing their opinion about breaking up and the idea of getting back together. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video: the psychological impact of no contact on your ex's brain. So firstly, let me just acknowledge that for a lot of people, the idea of no contact is controversial. Or at least, it's not a tactic that many people want to use in order to get a second chance with their ex. And I definitely understand that. It feels like you're just sitting around doing nothing, making no progress, while your ex is, just out there starting to forget about you. But of course, in my experience of over 14 years as a breakup coach, working with nearly 150,000 clients from around the world, this just simply is not accurate. To begin with, your ex is not going to suddenly forget about you in just a matter of a few weeks. At least, not if the relationship with your ex was at all serious and lasted more than a few months. If you and your ex were together for 3 months or more, and it was a real committed relationship, then they're just simply not going to forget about you or stop having feelings for you after just a couple of weeks of no contact. And giving your ex plenty of time and space after breaking up is also not just, doing nothing. It might feel like you're doing nothing, but no contact by its very nature is actually helping to increase the chances that your ex will change their mind and decide to take you back. Now, sometimes all it takes is just a week or two of ignoring your ex before they start to come crawling back. This honestly happens all the time, as you can see by just looking at any of the comments on my past no contact videos. And more than that, no contact also it's not a passive strategy. While you're not talking to your ex, you're still doing other things to help your cause and set yourself up for success once your period of no contact is over. Now, even if you leave this video unconvinced about the effectiveness of no contact, please at least give your ex as much time and space as you can manage in the first few weeks after your breakup. I promise you, anything that you do or say to your ex during that time is more likely to make matters worse and push your ex further away than if you simply ignore them for a while. Anyways, that is my no contact sales pitch. Let's now get into the ways in which no contact affects your ex psychologically. So number one, no contact forces your ex to feel the full repercussions of the breakup. By quickly shutting down almost all communication with your ex, especially if you engage in no contact fairly soon after the breakup, you're essentially giving your ex the shock treatment, a cold turkey breakup experience, if you will. They're forced to experience the full impact of breaking up suddenly and completely without any time to slowly learn to live without you. They probably knew that breaking up meant that you were going to be around less often and slowly fade out of their day-to-day routine. But most people don't imagine a breakup being immediate and total. Now, I can't understate how big of an impact this can actually have on your ex's emotions and their overall attitude towards breaking up. By dropping off their radar entirely, by being inaccessible and ensuring that you're not around to slowly fade out of your life as they get used to seeing you and talking to you less and less often, you're really hitting them with an emotional bombshell that they were not expecting. Now, if this sounds borderline cruel, if it sounds like it might cause your ex some emotional pain and heartache, well, to a certain degree, that is true. It is basically like forcing your ex to experience the worst possible post-breakup emotions and heartache. But, if your ex dumped you, or even if it was mutual, I personally don't think that it's at all unreasonable to shut down communication with them, at least for a while. No one can reasonably expect their ex to continue to be around after the breakup. And, it's not unfair to go cold turkey on your ex by engaging in no contact, especially because, this is also a great way to help you move on. But more importantly, this is the whole point. Going no contact will cause your ex maximum post-breakup heartache. It'll be harder for them, than if you hang around and continue to be their friend, text them constantly, or, allow yourself to remain a big part of their life. If you want your ex back, if you're serious about getting a second chance with this person, then you need to use no contact to give your ex this kind of sudden, maximum heartache breakup experience. And again, as cruel as it sounds, this is going to ensure that your ex misses you like crazy. It ensures that you won't fall into the friend zone or hang around as your ex's backup plan while they test out the single life. And basically, it's the only truly effective way to maximize your ex's heartache and loneliness which will in turn, of course, give them a very strong reason to take you back. Now, next up is a related one, and that is number 2. No contact is the only way to actually make your ex miss you. Nothing will make your ex miss you more than disappearing from their life entirely for a month or so. Nothing. Your ex will not miss you if you continue to be there for them. Now, a lot of people worry that no contact is just going to give their ex time to move on, time to get over them. And that is a fair concern. On the surface, it does seem logical, but it's a completely backwards way of thinking about things. Instead, you should be asking yourself, what would make your ex miss you more than just disappearing from their life entirely? Because if you think about it that way, you're going to realize that no contact is by far the best way to make your ex wish that you were still around, to make them think about you, long for you, and focus on the positive things that you brought to their life when you were still together. I mean, after all, if you suddenly and unexpectedly, lose something or someone from your life, if I suddenly took away your car, your phone, your TV, something that you take for granted and use every day, you're going to miss it a lot more than if I slowly and gradually took it from your life, right? And the same goes for your ex. You can't do anything more to make them miss you than to simply vanish from their life as suddenly and completely as reasonably possible. In my decades of experience as a breakup coach, I've seen this thousands of times. One of my clients employs a period of no contact, and within weeks or even days, their ex does a 180-degree turn in their attitude. That sudden loss that they feel as a result of no contact makes them miss their ex so badly that they just cave in and beg for another chance. Now, will this happen for you? I don't know, because of course that's going to depend on the details of your breakup and your ex's personality, but it certainly is a possibility. Regardless of what happens, engaging in no contact will ensure that you're making your ex miss you as much as humanly possible. And number 3, no contact helps your ex let go of negative memories. So by giving your ex plenty of time and space, you're also tapping into another aspect of human psychology. And that is our hardwired tendency to forget and to let go of negative memories and focus on happy, nostalgic ones. The longer you're apart from your ex during a period of no contact, the more likely it is that they'll forget about your flaws and whatever reasons led to the breakup. And not only that, you'll also help them focus their thoughts more on the positive attributes of you and your relationship. And they're going to become, at least a little bit nostalgic. By the end of your period of no contact, it's almost certain that your ex is going to care much less about the original reasons for the breakup. They'll start to forget about many of the little things that you did or the problems that plagued your old relationship. And instead, they're going to be thinking more about all the good stuff that you brought to their life, wishing that they could have that back again. All right, number 4, no contact will be unexpected and surprising for your ex. Believe it or not, in my experience, going full no contact on your ex is almost always going to catch them by surprise. It's not something that they're likely expecting you to do. At least, not so soon after breaking up and not to that extent. Now, why does this matter? Well, it matters because anything you do that your ex is not expecting after a breakup is going to cause them to have some doubts and some second thoughts. Now, if your breakup was ugly, if it ended with your ex telling you never to contact them again, then obviously the effect will be less than if your breakup was mutual or very friendly and free of drama. But either way, to some extent, simply by doing the unexpected, your ex will be forced to question their decision. They'll realize that, the way they imagined your breakup playing out may not be accurate after all. And that's a scary thought for somebody like your ex who is emotionally vulnerable and almost certainly not 100% confident that breaking up is the right choice. On its own, simply doing something your ex isn't expecting is, unlikely to make them come running back to you. But it will very likely, at the very least, plant the seeds of doubt and add one more reason for them to take you back. And number 5, no contact creates a sense of mystery and unknown for your ex. Now, this is another big psychological effect of no contact. By just not talking to your ex very much or at all for a while, they're going to have no idea what you're up to or why you've suddenly gone quiet. Even if your particular situation, requires you to maintain some occasional contact with your ex for some reason, as long as you don't get into any meaningful or heavy discussions with your ex during no contact, then they're going to start to quickly wonder what's going on with you, what's up with you. Usually within, a couple of weeks after you cut off contact, they'll begin to formulate, possible explanations as to what you're up to in their mind. Thoughts of, worst case scenarios will inevitably start to bounce around in their head. Like, is my ex already seeing somebody new? Did they not love me as much as I had thought? What if they're already moved on, even though I'm still sitting here trying to get over them? But most importantly, your ex is going to start to worry that they'll soon lose you for good. Now, your ex may be a very intelligent, rational person and tell themselves not to fear the worst, but most people can't help but feel a slight sense of urgency and panic, not knowing why their ex has dropped off the radar and what they've been up to. And trust me, this kind of urgency and worry is ideal if you want to get them back. And in a lot of cases, it can lead your ex to just change their mind and ask for you back on its own. The fear of potentially losing you for good before they've had a chance to come to grips to live with, life without you, or before they're ready to actually commit to a permanent breakup, is a huge factor in getting them to rethink the breakup and take you back. I actually just made a whole video on this, how making your ex fear losing you is an extremely powerful way to make them change their mind and ask for another chance, which you can watch next by just clicking here in the corner or finding the link in the description below. Even if your ex is very strong-willed and doesn't cave into the sense of urgency, a period of no contact will still lead them to wonder what you're up to and why you aren't interested in talking to them or begging for another chance. It'll force them to think of worst-case scenarios, where you're already dating somebody new, and it'll put you at the top of their mind for large parts of their day. And of course, the more your ex thinks about you and worries about what you're up to and where your head is at, the more they're going to be tempted to reach out and potentially even suggest starting over. Now, if you want to know what your ex is thinking right now and whether there's still a chance that they'll take you back, you can always take my free 5-minute quiz at breakupbrad.com/quiz. If you haven't already tried it out, go there right after the video, quickly answer the quiz questions to generate your confidential results report, breaking down your chances and offering some insights into your ex's current frame of mind. Again, the quiz is free and it's at breakupbrad.com/quiz. Now, let's move on to the final one. Number 6, no contact prevents you from making mistakes. All right, I admit this one is a little bit cheeky, as this doesn't really affect your ex psychologically, at least not directly. But what no contact does do, though, is prevent you from unknowingly doing or saying something to your ex that's going to push them further away and hurt your chances. Now, you might think that you're smart enough to avoid doing something dumb, but I see very, very smart and rational people make mistakes like this simply because they're running on emotions in the first couple of weeks after breaking up. So in other words, by not letting yourself, accidentally say something that will ruin your shot, you're ensuring that you don't do further damage and further damage your ex's opinion of you, or give them really any reasons to believe that they've definitely made the right choice in breaking up. And you've also shown them, and this will affect them psychologically to some extent, even if it's subconscious and very subtle, that you're strong enough to deal with the breakup in a mature way, that you're confident enough to accept their decision and move on with life, even though, you didn't want to break up, that you're fully capable of getting over them, finding somebody new, and continuing to live an interesting and successful life, even if they choose not to be a part of it. Anyway, the point here is that no contact can save your bacon by not allowing you the opportunity to do something dumb that will further confirm for your ex that breaking up was the right choice. And that is valuable, even if it's a bit less about what's going on inside your ex's brain and more about what you're not doing. Now, there are honestly many other ways that ignoring your ex can impact your ex psychologically, but I'm going to leave it here with these 6 things we just covered, because honestly, the most important thing that you should take away from this video is that employing some form of no contact will be felt by your ex and will improve your odds of success. Questions about no contact or whether it's going to work on your particular ex or with your unusual or unique situation? Just go to breakupbrad.com/coaching and sign up for a month of my one-on-one coaching so we can begin working together today. I'll learn about your ex, your breakup, and the challenges that you're facing, and create a custom plan to ensure that you do get another chance with your ex. I'd love to hear from you, so go to breakupbrad.com/coaching to sign up and learn more. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and please click subscribe to show your support. Leave your comments below and keep an eye out for my next video coming soon. Until then, good luck out there.